The March 10th, 2015 meeting of the Monroe County Legislature will now come to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
President Adair.
Here.
Mr. Ansello. Ms. Andrews. Mr. Baroth. Ms. Boyce. Dr. Carbone. Mr. Colby. Mr. Daniele. Mr. Delahanty. Mrs. Draw. Mr. Flagler Mitchell. Mr. Gamble is excused. Mr. Gamina. Mr. Haney. Mr. Howland. Ms. Cayley. Mr. John Lightfoot. Mr. Willie Lightfoot is excused. Mr. Marionetti. Mr. Michike. Mr. Morelli. Dr. Quattro. Mr. Rocco. Mrs. Stick. Ms. Taylor. Mr. Tucciarello. Mrs. Valerio. Mr. Wilcox. Mr. Yolovich.
I decided, since all of you were anxious to start tonight, that we would start 1 hour early. So you really still... No, you're all set. Yeah, whatever. At this time, I would like to introduce the Pastor Paul Burris of the Victory Church at the invitation of Legislator John Howland.
Let's pray. Dear God, we come to you humbly, thankful for your grace and your mercy, thankful for what you've done in our lives. Lord, you tell us in the book of Romans that all authority is established and given by you. And we thank you for these hardworking men and women who've dedicated their lives to the service of others. They've willingly accepted this responsibility and honor. Lord, you tell us in your word that if we ask for wisdom, you'll give it to us. And right now I'm asking you to be with these amazing leaders. Lord, I ask you to give them strength and wisdom to stand for what's right and to make the right choices for our community regardless of the cost. Help them to always put others first and to be leaders amongst leaders. God, help us to never see an opportunity to make a difference in someone else's life as an interruption. God, we ask you to watch over our elected officials, protect them, bless and protect their families, strengthen them, give them wisdom to be servants that you've shaped them to be. And we thank you for the real difference they're making in people's lives. Lord, we ask you to bless this meeting. We ask you to bless our county. We ask for great things in our community. God, help us never be satisfied with small results. May integrity and uprightness protect us because our hope is in you. Lord, as leaders, let us live like everything we do matters because it does. In your name, amen.
Legislators, you've received a copy of the Journal of Day 2, February 10th, 2015. Without exception, that journal is going to stand approved as submitted. There's a hearing loop in place tonight for those who need hearing assistance and are hearing impaired. Please inquire at our clerk's office.
If you have a cellular phone, pager, or other electronic devices in your possession, I would request that you make it inaudible for the duration of the meeting. Thank you for your cooperation.
Legislators, the referrals submitted to the legislature for the next committee cycle are now in your folders. At this time, it's a great privilege to announce that Mark Quinn from the Monroe County Parks Department is here, and Mark is going to introduce to us the plan of the month, and you did a very good job. Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you. The plan of the month this month is tulips. A little bit early. They might not be coming up in your front yard yet, but take heart. Only 10 days till spring. We actually mess with the flowers a little bit. We put them in a cold spot, and then we take them inside and put them in a greenhouse, and it forces them a little bit early. It's kind of nice because we can have them blooming early, which we will have them blooming at Lamberton Conservatory at the end of the month. So it's a great show to come see tulips if you want to see a bunch. Tulips themselves, there's over 3,000 varieties. You can get them in almost any color except blue and black. They come in anywhere from about 4 inches tall to a little bit over 2 feet. They're really, really nice flowers in the garden. A lot of months I come up here and say, and this is deer resistant. This is the classic flower that isn't deer resistant. They consider them candy. So if you've got deer in your yard or rabbits, the animals just love these things, so it's not the flower for you. However, if you're in a spot that's well protected, they're just beautiful. They are a perennial, but unlike some of the bulbs we have, they actually take a little more care. It's worth digging them up every now and then and replanting them because they get too crowded. What you'll do is you'll plant them in fall, September or October generally, and you want to plant them in a sunny area where the soil's nice and dry. And then in spring, they've got enough energy that they come popping up. They'll be up probably either in April or May, depending on the variety. You have ones that are early, and they come up, tend to be near the end of April, through the later varieties well into May. What you want to do after they bloom is let them die off completely. You let them sit in their spot until the leaves turn completely brown before you pull them out, or they won't have enough energy in the bulb to bloom again the next year. So that's fairly important. Again, there are beautiful flowers to have in your garden. They're not the first bulbs you're going to see. As soon as the snow melts, we'll be seeing snowdrops and Siberian squill, but these will come up in another month or so, and spring will really be here. Thank you.
And thank you for bringing spring here early. This evening, we have several proclamations scheduled. Madam Clerk.
Would Cindy Steigerwald please come forward? Also, President Jeffrey R. Adair and Legislator Debbie Draw. Whereas the Bavona Child Advocacy Center focuses on creating a safe, welcoming environment where sexually and physically abused children can begin to heal and recover. A team of more than 80 professionals and 21 partner agencies work toward protecting and treating abused children and counseling both the children and their families on the road to recovery. Bavona is recognized nationally as a premier child advocacy center. And whereas the Bavona Team Champion for Children Award is an annual award which the Bavona Agency presents to an exemplary child advocacy leader. It is a peer-nominated award representing a member of the Bavona team who is deeply committed to the fight for safer children and families. This year's recipient of the Bavona Team Champion for Children Award is Cindy Steigerwald. And whereas Cindy has been a longtime supporter and member of the Bavona team, putting hours of time and energy into the children who pass through its doors. She cares deeply for this community and recognizes the need to assist abused children and their families as they work through their healing process. She is a tenacious advocate who has gone as far as checking in with children and having lunch with them just to make sure that their day is going well and they feel protected. And whereas Cindy is a true leader within our community, so many families have been touched by her work and lives have been made infinitely better. Her dedication has affected not only the children with whom she works, but also her peers and team members at Bavona, who have been inspired by her steadfast resolve to not give up until the job is done and a child is safe. We are so proud to have such a strong advocate fighting every day for the children in our community. Now, therefore, we, Jeffrey R. Adair, President, and Debbie Draw, Legislator District 9, on behalf of the entire Monroe County Legislature, do hereby recognize and congratulate Cindy Steigerwald for being awarded the Diane Larder Champion for Children Award. Congratulations. Would Yanni Thiakomihalis and Louis Dupre please come forward? Also, President Jeffrey R. Adair and Legislator Dick Yolovich. Whereas wrestling is a sport that requires year-round dedication. dedication, and perseverance. A wrestler must spend countless hours training both mind and body to be successful, adhering to strict training regimens that can never be eased. Any competition is the culmination of a lifetime of preparation and practice, and to succeed, a wrestler must defeat an opponent who has undoubtedly prepared an equal amount. And whereas the Hilton wrestling team has consistently demonstrated the values and determination that are necessary to succeed in the sport. After a long, exhausting season, 2 members of the team were able to prove themselves against the toughest competition and come away with state championships. Both Yanni Diakomihalis and Louis Dupre were crowned the best wrestlers in their respective weight classes in New York State. And whereas Yanni placed first in the 120-pound weight class after defeating fellow sophomore Peter Pappas from Plainview. This is his 3rd straight state championship, a remarkable streak and a new Hilton record. The victory is just the latest in an undefeated season for Yanni after going 49-0 this winter, bringing his overall varsity record to an outstanding 178-3. And whereas Louis placed first in the 160-pound state championship, defeating North Rockland senior Blaze Benderoth. After winning 3 straight sectional titles, this is Louis' biggest achievement yet, bringing home the state's highest honor while becoming the most recent member of the Dupre family to be a state champion. And whereas as sophomores with already remarkable track records, the sky is the limit for these 2 athletes as they continue their wrestling careers. They are role models for all student athletes in our community, and we wish them the best of luck in the future. Now, therefore, we, Jeffrey R. Adair, President, and Dick Yolovich, Legislator District 1, on behalf of the entire Monroe County Legislature, do hereby recognize and congratulate Yanni Diakomihalis and Louis Dupre for winning 2015 Wrestling State Championships for Hilton High School. Congratulations.
Hello, my name is Mike Girizzi. I'm the athletic director from the Hilton Central School District, and on behalf of our coach, our varsity coach, Craig Gross, it is our pleasure to recognize Yanni and Louis for their outstanding achievement. They truly are the best in New York State in their sport, but even more than that, they're outstanding young men, and the manner in which they represent our school, our community, is top-notch. Obviously, they're great athletes and they're great young men, which is as, if not more important. And I think a true thank you goes out to their family that are here today for the jobs that they have done in developing these young men as they are. Again, we in Hilton Central and the Hilton community are extremely happy to recognize them for their achievements, and it is absolutely well-deserved.
Would Coach Kevin Odell and the East Ridge Lancers volleyball team please come forward? Also, President Jeffrey R. Adair and legislators Dr. Joe Carbone and Joseph Morelli, Jr. Whereas the East Ridge Lancers boy volleyball team, coached by Kevin Odell, put together a strong regular season and earned the number 3 seed in the sectional tournament last November. And whereas the Lancers won the Section 5 Class B championship, upsetting the tournament's top team, the Mid-Lake Screamin' Eagles, 3-1. In that match, the Lancers jumped out to early leads in the games, and despite Mid-Lake's forcing a 4th game, the outcome was never really in doubt. And whereas Tyler Farnung was named Most Valuable Player, and along with Nathan Porter and Nick Evershed, was named to the All-Tournament team. Porter finished the match with 26 kills, including the match winner, while Evershed had 14 kills, and Farnung picked up 51 assists. This win is the first volleyball title for the Lancers since 2001. Now let it be known that we, Jeffrey R. Adair, President, Dr. Joe Carbone, Legislator District 16, and Joseph Morelli Jr., Legislator District 17, on behalf of the entire Monroe County Legislature, do hereby honor East Ridge Lancers volleyball team for their hard work and determination in winning the championship. Congratulations.
I just want to thank you for this proclamation. Can't say enough about this team. A couple years ago, Coach Odell, when we met, said that just be patient. In a couple years, you'll be winning a Section 5 championship in volleyball. And it sounded great at the time. We're not obviously the biggest team in Section 5, but through their hard work and dedication, they just did an unbelievable job growing, and sure enough, Coach Odell was right, and they pulled it off, winning our second Section 5 championship in New York State. So I just want to thank the team on behalf of East Arundecoit School District. We're very proud of this team. As you can see, all the parents were here to see this, and they've been with this team since the start. So congratulations to the team and the parents and everybody associated to the volleyball team.
Would Carla McGill of the Rochester Rams dance team please come forward? Also, President Jeffrey R. Adair and legislators Willie Joe Lightfoot, Glenn Gamble, Ernest Flagler Mitchell, and John Lightfoot. Yep, bring them up.
Come on, girls.
Whereas the Rochester Rams were founded in the early 1960s and have called Northeast Rochester home since then. Hailing from the area known as the Crescent, the Rams provide a safe haven for children looking to escape the harsh realities of a neighborhood struggling with poverty, drugs, and violence. A majority of the team members are African American and come from low-income or single-parent households. And whereas the children have the physical ability to excel in sports and the mental capacity to excel in school, these talents were on full display last year as the Rochester Rams dance team made history by having 4 teams qualify to compete at the Pop Warner National Cheer and Dance Competition held in Orlando, Florida in December. In fact, the junior peewee and junior midget teams placed first and were named national champions and performed live on ESPN3. And whereas the travel to compete in Orlando was an opportunity for yet another lesson in hard work. The young ladies stood outside in the cold, snow, and rain soliciting donations at the public market and the Bay Goodman intersection for 6 weekends to reduce the transportation costs as they learned hard work pays off. Now, therefore, let it be known that we, Jeffrey R. Adair, President, Willie Joe Lightfoot, Assistant Minority Leader, Glenn Gamble, Legislator District 22, John Lightfoot, Legislator District 25, and Ernest Flagler Mitchell, Legislator District 29, on behalf of the entire Monroe County Legislature, do hereby recognize the Rochester Rams dance team for their hard work, determination, and success in competitions this year. Congratulations.
First of all, I would like to thank the county legislator for having us here and for recognizing the girls in their hard work this year. It was a concerted effort between the girls and the coaches, and a lot of the coaches are here, so y'all kind of like wave your hands. and hard work definitely pays off. It was a struggle at times, but we persevered and we made it, and we got 2 national champs and a finalist, second place finalist, and our midget team also placed in 9th, I believe. So all in all, 2014 was a great year for the Rochester Rams, and we look forward to 2015 being as well. Thank you.
Everybody, this way. Lady girls, this way.
He should be a coach. Seriously.
Crowd cleared out. We will now recess for the purpose of holding several public hearings. I declare open the public hearing for resolution intro number 67 of 2015 entitled Approving, Increase, and Improvements of Facilities in the Gates Charlie Ogden Sewer District General Collection System Improvements.
There are no speakers registered for this hearing.
I declare this public hearing closed and open the public hearing on resolution intro number 67 of 2015 entitled Approving Increases and Improvements of the Facilities of the Rondequoit Bay South Pure Water Central District, the General Pump Station, and the Interceptor Improvements.
There are no speakers registered for this hearing.
I declare this public hearing closed and open the public hearing on resolution intro number 70 of 2015 entitled Improving, Increase, and Improvements of Facilities of the Northwest Quadrant Pure Waters District General Pump Station and Interceptor Improvements.
There are no speakers registered for this hearing.
I declare this public hearing closed, and I open the public hearing on resolution intro number 73 of 2015, entitled Approving Increase and Improvements to the Facilities in the Rochester Pure Waters District, the Frank E. Van Laird Chemical Tanks Improvements.
There are no speakers registered for this hearing.
And I declare this public hearing closed, and I open the public hearing on resolution intro number 76 of 2015 entitled Amending, Increase, and Improvements of Facilities in the Rochester Pure Waters District General Collection System and Treatment Plant Improvements. Amending 2015-2020 Capital Improvement Programs. Amending resolution is 119 of 2014.
There are no speakers registered for this hearing.
I declare this public hearing closed, and I open the public hearing on the resolution intro number 79 of 2015 entitled Improving and Increase Improvements of the Facilities of the Rochester Pure Waters District, Frank E. Van Laird Solid Handling Select Demolition.
There are no speakers registered for this hearing.
I declare this public hearing closed, and I open the public hearing on resolution intro number 82 of 2015 entitled Improving, Increase, and Improvements of the Facilities of the Rochester Pure Waters District, Frank E. Van Laird Thickener Improvements Phase 2.
There are no speakers registered for this hearing.
I declare this public hearing closed, and I open the public hearing on resolution intro number 85 of 2015 entitled Amending, Increase, and Improvements of Facilities in the Rochester Pure Waters District, Frank E. Van Laird Maintenance Center. Amending 2015-2020 Capital Improvement Program. Amending resolution is 116 of 2014.
There are no speakers registered for this hearing.
There being none, I declare this public hearing closed and reconvene the March 10th, 2015 meeting of the Monroe County Legislature. You have in your folders the approved minutes from the last cycle. There are no formal committee reports scheduled for this evening. We will now hold a public forum. We have several people registered to address the legislature. Madam Clerk.
If you require assistance, a deputy is available to assist you in approaching the lectern. Each speaker will have 2 minutes in which to address the legislature, and kindly conclude your remarks when the timer sounds and exit through the back of the chambers. Thank you for your cooperation. Our speaker tonight is Sister Grace Miller.
Can you say it one more time?
Our speaker tonight is Sister Grace Miller.
Let's conclude.
This concludes the public forum.
We will now proceed with the considerations of motions, resolutions, and notices. Will the clerk please read the next item on the agenda?
Item number 1.
Legislator Tucciarello, yes, you can.
I'd like to make the motion that we move the agenda in its entirety with the exception of referral number 29.
And I have a second by Legislator Andrews. The entire agenda is moved other than number 29, am I correct? Okay, is there any discussion behind that? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. The next item is item number 29. Madam Clerk.
Item number 29, referral 15-0068.
Moved by Legislator Ansel. It is second by Legislator Yolovich. Is there any discussion at this time? Legislator Haney.
Thank you, Mr. President. I ask that this item be considered separately because while I'll be joining, I'm sure, all my colleagues in supporting it this evening, I wanted to rise, and since the public defender is in the chambers, I recently had the opportunity to read the 2014 annual report of the Public Defender's Office. And it's really a most remarkable document. If any of you have not read it, I would encourage you to do so. Having read that report, I am, and we can all be, extremely proud of the work that the Public Defender's Office is doing. The volume of cases, et cetera, that they are handling, I think could only be described as being staggering, and the results of the work that they do are really most impressive. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to rise, to commend the Public Defender's Office for the work that they do, with the hope that the Public Defender will convey those sentiments on my behalf, and I'm sure my fellow legislators join me, to the members of his staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Legislator Haney. Is there any other discussion? All in favor indicate by saying aye. Opposed? The item carries. There being no unfinished business to come before us tonight, Legislator Tucciarello.
Mr. President, I call this meeting adjourned. The next meeting of the Monroe County Legislature is scheduled for Tuesday, April 14th, 2015 at 6 p.m. Thank you all.